You know, another part of the spiritual warfare battle we need to be fighting has to do with encouraging fellow believers when they're having a difficult time. I met a guy named Trever in a men's retreat I did several years ago, and we became friends. And at the time that I met him, he was going through some marriage problems. So several years had gone by, and I was in the line at the post office to buy some stamps, mail some packages, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, Trever comes to mind. It had been years, no reason to think of him. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should give him a call. Maybe that's a nudge from God to reach out to him. So I bought the stamps. I started out the door, and I ran into someone I hadn't seen in a long time, and we visited for a while, and I forgot to call Trever. And a few minutes later, I was in line at the bank to make a deposit, and I thought of Trever again out of the blue. And I said, okay, Lord, I'll do it now. So I stepped out of line and walked outside and called Trever. And he said, Steve Hemphill, how are you doing? It's been a long time. And I said, it's been great. I'm great, Trever. How are you? I'm calling about you. You were having marriage problems when I was there. I was just wanted to see how you were doing. Oh, everything's great. We got a promotion. We got a new house closer to work, and everything's great. I said, well, that's good. Maybe I didn't need to call you after all. And he said, hold on just a minute and let me shut the door for some privacy to my office. Kind of weird. And so I hear the door slam, and Trever starts crying, sobbing, bawling. And I let him catch his breath. I said, okay, what's wrong? And he said, I've been looking at pornography, and I know it's going to ruin my life. And I said, it will. You've got to get help. You've got to confess it. You got to confess it to your wife and to your church. You need other people praying for you besides just me. You ought to get some of that software that's accountability software that sends your buddy every website you go to, so you know somebody's seeing everything you look at and you're going to be accountable. And I said, but you can get through this. God will help you through. And he just said, man, I'm going to do that. Thank you so much for contacting me. And I started thinking about that later. Who else has God nudged me to call that I just didn't respond to? God is going to get his work done. Listen to the nudges, respond to them, pray that God will make you more sensitive to them and recognize that. Keep praying, because God loves you, and I do too.